Hi, this is Brandon from Talk Tech, back here again with another video. Let me start this one with a question. Do you use a laptop as a Linux server? If you do, have you ever wondered how to check the battery charge on it? I did, and that's when I discovered UPower. So recently I converted one of my spare laptops through Ubuntu Server 22.04 on there with no GUI interface, and got my charge limited because that's one of the first things that I like to do on any Linux laptop is limit the battery charge to 60% just to keep the overall battery health in better shape over the long term. And then I was like, well, how the heck am I supposed to check this? And that's when I discovered UPower. So it was like Gandalf coming over the hill. So what is UPower? It's a Linux middleware where for power management that allows for enumeration of power sources, maintain statistics and history data, and can notify you of changes. It includes a daemon, an API, which is an application programming interface, as well as a command line interface, CLI or CLI utility. Now, the daemon is upower.service. Let me just go ahead and show that to you here. We're going to just run a system CTL status, and then we're going to just do upower. And you can, with any systemctl services, systemd services, you don't need to put .service on there. So you can see right here, it's upower.service. It is active and running. So good. And you've started with, systemctl start upower, and then you also would put that on start on boot with systemctl enable upower. So that's a couple tips there. So let's go ahead and cancel. Let's go ahead and quit out of that. All right, and then the CLI utility is upower. I'm just going to run a upower tac h here. All right, and then the GUI interfaces have been introduced in GNOME Power Manager and XFCE Power Management. So those are a couple of the GUI utilities that are baked into different distributions. It's available on Debian, Ubuntu-based distributions, and Red Hat Enterprise Linux Fedora, as well. And I'm pretty sure it's available on Arch because everything is usually available on Arch. If not, the system by default, it can be installed with for Ubuntu and Debian-based distributions, apt install upower, and that's UPOWER. Or if you're using a Red Hat Enterprise Linux or Fedora system, that would be DNF or Yum if you're into that kind of thing. Install upower. So just to get into some of the syntax of this command, of course, the command itself is going to be upower, then you're going to have your option, and then you'll just, if you want to specify a specific power power source, you will be able to go ahead and do that. So there's a few different options that I want to go ahead and go over with. Now, the first one is going to be upower tac E. And what I'm going to do here is just to kind of help everybody is I'm going to go ahead and bring the help options here. All right, so upower tac E, which is going to enumerate basically show you all of the power devices on the system. So let's go ahead and run that command here and check them out. So here we go. This is the power AC adapter. This right here is the battery. And then this is some other kind of display device. I remember reading it somewhere what it was, but I can't remember. But if you're curious, just go ahead and do a quick Google search. And that will enlighten you in regards to this particular item right here. The next command that you have is you're going to have monitor, or I should say TAC-M or TAC-TAC monitor. This is going to allow you to monitor activity from the power daemon. So if the power cord is plugged in, if the power cord is taken out, anything like that. So TAC-M. All right. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is that we're actually in this session. I'm actually running an SSH session with the laptop. So we're going to go ahead and see, look there. I just plugged it in, and then I just unplugged it. All right. So okay, so you can see that all of this stuff registered here. Same thing over here. And what I've got going on here is I'm going to go over this command here in just a second. But this is a way to continuously monitor it and monitor a specific device versus this right here, which is going to monitor all of them. And keep in mind, this one will also monitor all of them if you don't specify, but you know, usually if I'm monitoring something, it's usually the battery. That's all I really care about. I'm not really concerned about the other two devices that are there. So it's not something that I look for. So moving on, let's go ahead and cancel this out. And you can always just end the monitor session with Control C. And then what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and Control L that down and bring us up to the top. So this command that's running over here in this top right window, and that's going to be upower. Actually, let's go ahead and run a upower tac E. We're going to grab this one right here because this is our device's battery. Oops, let me move this back down. So I went ahead and we'll talk more about this output here in just a second. All right, we're going to take this one right here because this is our battery. We're going to run upower tac monitor detail, and then we're going to put in that. All right, because we only want to monitor the activity from this, and I'm going to go ahead and cancel this out just because I already have it running, and I don't need a second iteration of it running at the same time. So one of the things that I did do is I went ahead and ran the stress command on the laptop itself, and I'm stressing out 4 CPU cores. Now, the reason I wanted to do that is because I wanted to show you what kind of output you're going to see here. Now, here we're getting updates, and we can see that it's at 40. We can see the percentage is listed right here, which is 41%. And then we come down here. This one is at 5:56 my time. Scroll down here, still at 5:56 my time, and then we're at 41%. So we can see here it's got the total capacity, 97.8947 lithium-ion battery. We can see here it's got energy, energy full design. It's got quite a bit of energy. I'm sorry, quite a bit of information about the battery itself. It gives you the name of the battery, the vendor, the model of battery. So this is a really dense type of output. So it's keep in mind that you may want to have it on a much larger window than this one, just because so you can actually see that coming up as it's going down. And this is basically giving you an up to date. Every so often it's like, hey, you're at 41%. Oh, you're at 40%. And I wanted you to be able to do that, which is why I ran that stress command. And the stress command is a great way to be able to stress out different components on the system. And with on Debian and Ubuntu based distributions, you can install that with apt install stress, and that's just stress, and that allows you to just stress them out to 100% so that you can, test out, stuff like this, right? All right, so cool. Let's go ahead and move on. The next one that I want to go ahead and go over is upower tac I. And then what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and paste in again the battery, because that's the only one that we really care about here in this particular, and for my particular needs, and it's going to give us all that same information, but this is going to give us when we run the command. So we can see right now it's at percentage of 39%. It's also giving us an estimation till empty, which is 26.4 minutes. So gives a ton of information here. It even gives you some history here, 41, 41 history rate, discharging. It gives you a lot of information. And keep in mind, if you want to do it for all of the devices, you can just take out this one right here and then see it for all the devices. I think, or actually, no, I think with this one, actually, do you have to? Yeah, so I'm sorry, you can't show it for all you can't show it for all of them. You would have to actually show it for this, the I command, the I option needs to be used with a designated device. So my apologies there. I believe it's upower by itself that will, or maybe not. Yeah, so I guess in this particular case, and I just completely forgot. It's been a couple of days since I've actually prepared for this video. So yeah, upower, you can just get the information with I for a particular device and just select whatever device that you want, and you'll be able to get it that way. So perfect, yeah. And one of the things that you'll want to do is you'll want to use either tac help or tac help to give you information in regards to the help, like how to use the command. You can use the man page, but I'm going to show it to you here. It's very minimal, and honestly, in my personal opinion, not the most helpful, because it does give you monitor detail, but if you want information about that single device, it's not really giving that to you. You know, it does give you up here, it's like, oh, dump, and you have enumerate options and things like that. But there's so many easier ways to do this kind of stuff. So, you know, I prefer the help command. So perfect. Right. That's pretty much all I had as far as UPower goes. I hope that you found this helpful. Make sure you're subscribed for more content in the Linux realm, as well as, you know, in regards to laptop, you know, power savings and stuff like that. That's maybe something I might cover again in the future. So make sure you give this video a thumbs up if you liked it. Give it a thumbs down if you didn't. Let me know what you liked. Let me know what you didn't like down below. Or if you have any questions in regards to the video, leave that down below. And make sure that you're subscribed, and hit the bell icon down below, because that'll make sure that you get notifications for any of the upcoming videos that I plan on releasing. I really want to thank you very much for watching my video, and have the greatest of days.